Hey everyone, it's Ryan, and welcome back to January 2026. Happy New Year. We give updates twice a month, one mid month and one end of month. And we do that through our blog, and we do it on these YouTube videos, and we do a podcast episode. So if you want those regular updates, either subscribe on YouTube or bookmark our blogs, join a newsletter. We'll accept you. I promise. And you'll get these updates. We have a mid-month January coming up where Beth and I are going to take a look at the full year for our Wealth Today video and give a few key insights into things that we saw in 2025 that you probably will not see anywhere else. It's because we take a look at the data manually. We upload the information every month, go through it to make sure it's accurate. And from that, we gather insights that we give back to our clients, our potential clients, friends, family, and there are a few other realtors out there who have confessed to me that they use our data more often than their own brokerage data. So I won't say who they are, but thanks for watching. Really for December today, but we're going to talk about, I won't drag this video out longer than it needs to be. It is the slowest month of the year. And it's a small sample size. So we've got a few of those insights today that we're going to take a look at. Overall, there were 71 sales for the month. Usually in a given month in Guelph real estate, it is 100 plus sales. So we're definitely below the 100 mark at 71. That's about 2.3 per day, which is also about half of what we find as the average. So a very, very slow month. It was slower than last year in December, but it was slightly better than December of 2023, which was, I remember back, it was very slow. Of the 46 sales in the detached segment, 500,000 in the ward was the low, and 1.575 million on McAllister in Courtright East was the high. And if you blend all those numbers together of the 46, you get an average price of 828,000, which is a bit of a bump up. We were trending slightly below 800 for a little while into November. But as far back as the spring, we were over or getting close to 900. So we're in an okay place. We're sort of sitting in the middle ground. We do watch the number of homes that sell over $1 million. Typically, historically, this number has been between 15 to 20%. But in November, it was 13. November was 7% and December was 13. So we may be entering a new trend downwards there, depending on what happens in January. So we'll keep you updated on that. For the condo segment, there were 25 sales. The low was 390,000 on Kingsbury. I think it was 67 Kingsbury. And the high was 875 in the Arboretum. This segment, I think we're going to see, I think it's going to be the news story for Guelph real estate in 2026 because there is a lot of inventory. The summary here is that there's a lot of inventory and it doesn't seem to be moving well. And this is condo apartments. So if you think like the metalwork style of tall building, this is low-rise condos. If you think about like Kingsbury, this is stacked townhouses. This is some townhouses with fees. That would be something like 240 London Road, like 3-bedroom condos with a garage, maybe. All of them are in this segment. Anything with a monthly fee outside of the Pine Ridge fee. They're really struggling. And we have yet to see this inventory really drop from sales. We have noticed that towards the end of the year, there was a drop in inventory, but that was because owners were canceling their listings. And I'm fearful for sellers, hopeful for buyers, fearful for sellers that in the new year, we are going to get a whole lot more inventory. You already hear it in the GTA. Definitely you hear it in Toronto that the condo market is really soft. It was overproduced. Oversold, a lot of money, speculative money went into these by investors. And now it's starting to really deteriorate. In Guelph, we are selling less than one per day. and we're definitely in buyer's territory with the inventory. The challenge here is that not only is there a lot of inventory, but there is more to come because there are a lot of developments that are just finishing where buyers potentially paid. If you remember back a few years, buyers got caught in situations where they were lining up to buy units. They got in, and now the market's come down, and now they have to close on them, and they're probably going to have to put them on the market right away. Investors that don't want to accept pricing in today's market that are holding on to their units, but may at some point have to sell. And there's a lot of concern from my perspective about what prices are going to do here. Again, for buyers, this is fantastic. Will it get better down the road? Yeah, maybe. But it's also the best time for a buyer now than it has been in quite a while. So interesting times ahead in the condo market. The average price here in December was $522,000. That's a big drop from where we were even in the summer, where we were bumping up against 600,000 as an average. So we'll watch this. There is a chance we could break below 500,000 on the average price of a condo at some point next year. We'll watch it. We'll let you know, but that is definitely a segment to look out for. If you own a condo, a townhouse, something in that segment, my suggestion is to get on the market in January and February and not wait until the spring market, because I anticipate you're going to have a lot of competition as a seller once we hit the spring market. At this point of the year, even after all the cancellations, we are sitting in a balanced market. It's trending on the lower end of balance towards a seller's market, but don't be fooled by that. The only reason it's that close to a seller's market is because everybody canceled their listing or they expired right at the end of the year. They will be back, and we will be further into a balanced market towards the middle of the balanced market. So on this extreme, up high is a seller's market and prices are high. On this extreme, it's a buyer's market, lots of inventory and prices are low. We're going to be sitting, my guess is early January, mid-January, right in the middle, where everybody has equal opportunity. We are sitting at 2.9 months of inventory at the moment. So that means if every house in Guelph sold based on current sales trends, it would take 2.9 months to sell through everything. Of course, that's not going to happen, but that's just a measure that we use to determine how liquid or how quickly a market is moving. Really, we're finishing off the year in negative territory across the board. We are down in overall sales dollars. So if you add all of the homes together up, they're down about 7% versus last year. The number of units down almost 7% last year. I think it's 122 less houses sold this year than last year. And the average price, though, is down, but it's not down as much as the other two. So despite the fact that there is less activity happening in the market, the mix of houses and average prices are staying relatively stable. We do anticipate that for 2026, the average price is going to decline 1.123%, and that the number of homes that are going to sell will increase. So more homes at cheaper prices in 2026. That's our guess. We have a whole predictions video on that if you want to watch it. But otherwise, take a look for our video in a few weeks that gives a summary of 2025. And if you have any questions on the Guelph real estate market, we're very accessible. You can find us at bethandryan.ca.